Hello and welcome to this week's viewer questions, but I always start off with some news, and this week there is, of course, big news about Julian Assange. He faces, I believe it's 17 indictments that the U.S. Justice Department has just revealed against the Espionage Act for being a journalist, which they're threatening him, or he's up against 200 years in jail for being a journalist. Did I mention he's a journalist? Did I mention they're trying to prosecute and extradite him and torture him and put him in solitary confinement for the rest of his goddamn life for being a journalist? I'm not sure I mentioned. Did I mention the part about journalists? Did I? Because I just want to make sure that I said something about that. And what's hilarious is that now you see some of the mainstream media starting to wake up to this. They're starting to suddenly realize, oh, I wonder if this could come back to bite me in the ass. I mean, I'm a paid fucking shill for MSNBC, but maybe I should care if journalists are being locked away for fucking 200 years. Maybe that should bug me a little bit. So, I saw that MSNBC, Ari Melber did something on it the other day saying, hey, this is kind of dangerous. It's kind of dangerous to say that journalists are violating the Espionage Act by publishing absolutely true stuff. And so he did that piece, and then he was shocked. It was shocking to see how much pushback he got from other MSNBC viewers who for the past 4 or 5 years have been told nothing but anti-Julian Assange propaganda. So they're all like, how dare you, MSNBC, stand up for Julian Assange? And it's like, well, yeah, you fucking created those trolls, corporate media. You created that. You created a wall of bullshit. And so now, and even the New York Times did something that was like, hey, this is kind of dangerous for freedom of speech, freedom of press. This is a dangerous precedent to set with Julian Assange. And even the New York Times was saying that. But of course, now they've got to undermine all their propaganda they've spent years setting up against WikiLeaks and against Julian Assange. Anyway, I would love it if you guys would check out my article I wrote for TruthDig about everything WikiLeaks has revealed, how important it's been. If you just go to TruthDig, it's kind of towards the top there. It's called The 18 Ways Julian Assange Has Changed the World. So if you can check that out and maybe share it if you like it, that would be awesome. Because I think it's important right now as Julian Assange is up against this fight, as he's up against a fight for his life. It's important for people to realize just what WikiLeaks has done for us over the years and why this is such a dangerous precedent to set. Oh yeah, and I also, by the way, over at my website, if you want a free download of the poster that Lucy Dyer made the art there, and we put it together so that you can download that for free over at leecamp.com. Just an easy way to get people to get the point. We shouldn't be going after journalists. We should be going after the fucking war criminals that they revealed, that he's revealed, that WikiLeaks has revealed, that others have revealed. Those are the ones that we should be prosecuting. But of course we're not, because this system has been gamed, rigged, and captured in their benefit, for them, to benefit them. The criminal justice system is to help the rich and powerful, the powers that be, maintain that position. And that's what they're using it for. So moving on, I want to go to one other story before we get to some of your viewer questions. And also, at the end of this, I will announce the winners of my comedy special, download of my stand-up comedy special. Those winners will be listed here at the end. And you can enter to win next week just by leaving a comment of any kind in the comment section. All right, let's see here. Other topic I was going to get to is, I don't know if you saw this, but a leaked report from the OPCW, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. They're kind of the international body that is looked to decide whether chemical weapons were dropped, were used, are being stored, they're the ones that a lot of the world looks to tell us the truth on this stuff. So when this kind of ridiculous I view it as ridiculous. Stuff about Syria is going to use chemical weapons, and for some odd reason, Assad decides to use chemical weapons right before America's about to pull out of Syria. Every time, Trump is like, "Hey, we're leaving." The U.S. is like, we can't really be there forever. Every time, oops, chemical weapons. Oh, it's fun. Oh, they crossed the red line. What are the odds? He just did it. Oh, my goodness. So it seems to me like, of course, that's what the people that want the U.S. to stay there, meaning Al-Qaeda and that we're supporting al-Nusra, they would set up a staged chemical weapon attack because that's going to look great for them. This is not to say that the fucking war and killing that's gone on in Syria isn't horrific. It's not to say that bombing civilians isn't horrific on both sides, on all sides, from the U.S., from Assad, anyone. It is horrific. But the chemical weapons specifically has just always seemed laughable to me. And, some great journalists have done reporting to that extent. John Pilger, Seymour Hersh, they've revealed this. But anyway, this leaked report came out that showed, oh my goodness, the chlorine attack in Duma from about a year ago or whatnot. There was a report within the OPCW that was covered up or not released at least, that said that the chlorine attack seems to be staged. This is a 44-page official report inside the OPCW that said that the 2 chlorine canisters that apparently had been, quote-unquote, dropped from helicopters or planes in order to create this chlorine attack weren't actually dropped from planes. The ways they landed, the structure of the buildings or things that they hit didn't correspond with being dropped from a plane or helicopter. And so this report says these canisters were laid on the ground, and it seems like a setup scenario to make people believe there was a chemical attack. And you can read or learn about this leaked report from a lot of alternative outlets, but even some official outlets. That acts like the alternative outlets are not official. So even some of the larger outlets, such as Democracy Now! Covered it. And Democracy Now!, I have a lot of complaints about their coverage on certain things. I think they've done a good job on a lot of things. I think they've done a terrible job on Syria. For a long time, week after week, they were feeding into the white helmet propaganda bullshit and just kind of spewing that stuff out. So they definitely have their faults. But they've also done a good job on certain other things. So I don't group them with the pile of fetid shit that is like the normal mainstream media. They're more like doing a lot of good work, but occasionally, what the fuck are you thinking? Maybe do a little more research that isn't coming just from the New York Times. Anyway, Democracy Now! Has covered the fact that there is a leaked OPCW report, and the OPCW, by the way, confirms that this is a real report that shows that this chemical attack was ridiculous. And I'm sorry if that's. By the way, the Daily Beast, that pile of shit, they did a attack piece which I've talked about a little on my podcast, Common Censored, And they drag me into it and misquote me intentionally. And anyway, I'm not really going to get into it, but right now. But they say I take Lee Camp known for taking the Russian line on things. And it's like, I'm not taking the Russian line. I don't even generally know what the Russian line is. I take the pro-peace line. I take the line of people that are actually really willing to do research and speak the truth about a scenario, not just give in to the State Department bullshit, not just be a stenographer for our fucking military-industrial complex. That's the line I take. If that happens to align with what's coming out of Russia, I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Who the fuck knows? I just know I'm giving the pro-peace line. The line that says, hey, the U.S. has never proven that we are helpful in going into other countries and upending them and destroying them and killing their people. We have never proven that creates a better society for them, and that's why I'm against it. So, they specifically, the Daily Beast, the dumpster fire over there, they specifically pointed to my stance on Syria. My stance on Syria is that they should have their own sovereignty and decide their own shit rather than us funding like Al-Qaeda affiliates, Al-Nusra affiliates, like funding the people that are doing horrific things. And then we go, oh, we're helping. We're bringing peace and democracy over there. Meanwhile, you have the worst migrant situation maybe in history, I don't know, in a long time happening over there, thanks to a lot of thanks to us as well. And so that's why I'm in the pro-peace camp, all right? So I don't know I'm not aligning myself with anything except let's not keep obliterating innocent civilians. How's that sound? But of course, Daily Beast is a neocon shit rag who they just line up with any pro-war stance, and most of our mainstream media does. Okay, so that's the story about OPCW. I recommend you read a little more about it and learn what's going on there. But many of us have been saying this for a long time, that these chemical attacks are fucking largely ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense that Assad would decide right as the U.S. is leaving to do the one thing that will get the U.S. to fucking bomb him. It's totally illogical. Okay, let's get to some comments here. Tara Thralls says or asks, what will they do if Chelsea doesn't pay the fines? Lock her up? ? And I think Tara is being sarcastic there. Chelsea's already locked up. So, and what fine she's referring to is that they have locked Chelsea Manning up for not participating in the grand jury because she knows it's a fucking circus designed to just get her to somehow malign or give evidence against Julian Assange. But Chelsea Manning has already told everything she can tell, and there's nothing more for her to tell, and they keep locking her up because we won't participate in these grand juries. And now they've said that for every day over 30 days she stays in there, they're going to charge her $500 a day. After 60 days, it goes up to $1,000 a day. So they're basically, pressuring her by checkbook to try and get her to give false testimony or something. It's fucking disgusting. I mean, it's a total scam. And it goes to show what I was saying earlier about our criminal justice system being captured by the oligarchs, the plutocrats, the kleptocrats, whatever form of crat you want to go with. They own the system, so they're using it to try and abuse her and get her to give some sort of false testimony. But yeah, if you want to send a letter to Chelsea Manning, and she highly recommends that you do. She likes getting mail from supporters, and it means a lot to her, and she says that on her website. The website to go to, and we'll throw it up on the screen here, is xychelsea.is. So you go to that website, and if you scroll down to the bottom, it tells how to write letters to her, and she very much wants to receive letters and support. So xychelsea.is is where you can go to write a letter to Chelsea Manning and tell her that she's really been a hero through all of this. George Carter, you are a funny guy, Lee. And I like that. I like that you didn't take the time to spell out U or R, because you're a man on a mission, George. All right? You don't have fucking time for those little extra letters. I hear you. Fucking get it done and go. Now, you could have left one N out of funny. Maybe save a few more minutes there. I don't know why you bothered with two N's. We would have gotten it. I wouldn't have thought it was Funy guy, because that'd be weird. Why would someone call me a Funy guy? I think you're a funny guy, Lee, and we appreciate all that you and your staff do. I don't think Manning would sell Assange out for any amount of money at this point, not even the $10.2 billion that Morales sold him out for. I think he means Moreno in Ecuador, the president of Ecuador that has sold out Julian Assange. And George says, we are with you, Chelsea. You are not alone. Maybe the number 10.2 billion is correct. I don't remember the exact number, but it is billions of dollars that Moreno in Ecuador got from the IMF, I believe, immediately after, like within days after he sold Assange out. So they invite cops in to arrest Assange in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. Within like a day or two, he's given this massive IMF loan for Ecuador. So basically, these two things were linked. They said to him, you give us Assange, and we'll make sure you get this multi-billion-dollar loan. It is totally fucking revolting. Moving on, Michael Bartus says, damn! I like when an email starts with like real emotion. I don't even know what's coming up next. I just know, damn! Absolutely, Michael. I hear you. You should hack into a live CNN broadcast and play your video to the public. I agree, Michael. I don't even know what video you're talking about, but I should back into CNN and play my videos. I don't think they'd like that much. For some odd reason, I have never been invited to to host a CNN show. Nathan Hintz says, how many signatures do we need to fire our government and start a new one? A lot of people don't know this. It's 17 signatures. Yeah, that's all it takes, because it's right there in the Constitution. You get 17 signatures, fire the whole government. I really think we should. I don't know why we've waited this long, honestly. I mean, if 17 of you get together, just do it, because we'd all love that. It's really a waste of time we've waited this long. A. Mayers says, when will America wake up to the fact that our real war criminals are on yachts while real heroes are in jail? I wish another country would adopt me. If you find one, I'd say go with it. I think, what was it? Was it Lithuania that was looking for people? Someone over in that area. Estonia maybe looking for some people. Maybe they'll adopt you. But yes, the real criminals are the hugely rich. I mean, I prefer when they're on yachts, because that means at least they're not, near us, because I'm not often near yachts. So if they all want to get out on yachts, maybe we could just build a wall. That's what we do. We invite all the multi-millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires out onto the yachts, and then we build a wall along the coast, and we leave them out there so that they can start like a Kevin Costner Waterworld scenario, and have to go off in the ocean and try and survive, drink their own piss and shit. I don't mean drink their own shit. I just meant drink their own piss and shit. But yeah, that I think that's a plan. I'm going to run for office on that. Carrie, last one. Carrie Quinn, who is also one of our winners today. Carrie Quinn, if you want to email us to get your free download of my stand-up comedy special, that's leecampledger@protonmail.com. Carrie Quinn, talking about Chelsea Manning, says she is a hero straight up. Being locked up sucks. I think we should send her fan mail. Oh, I mentioned that earlier. It does help, and I imagine it'd be something to get letters of support from strangers, would boost her morale. She's a hero for the truth and anti-war movement and much more. So the website again, there you go. The website again to email Chelsea, to send letters to Chelsea Manning is xychelsea.is. I don't think Julian Assange can right now receive your letters. Otherwise, I'd recommend that as well. The winners for this week are Carrie Quinn and Keith Durant. You can get your free download of my stand-up comedy special by emailing I'm about to give his name again. By emailing leecampledger@protonmail.com. You can also email comments there, although I prefer you leave comments on here, and then you get entered to win the stand-up comedy special. Also, you can watch the first 10 minutes of that special if you just go to leecampcomedyspecial.com. Okay, that's all I have, but I am performing live coming up in Montreal, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Missouri. I don't think the tickets are up yet, but I'm also have dates coming up, I believe, in Madison and Milwaukee, but those tickets aren't available just yet. Anyway, all that's at leecamp.com. Click the schedule tab. You can also be a live member of our audience. I mean, I hope you're alive. I mean, if you're dead, you can't come because of the stink. It's a fragrance issue. You can be a member of our live audience at Redacted Tonight in Washington, D.C. Tapes every week for free. Just go to leecamp.com, click the schedule tab. That's got all the info there. All right, until next time, keep fighting.